just like you did in 2008, you can defy the conventional wisdom, the kind that says you can't overcome the cynicism of our politics. You can't overcome the special interest and the big money. You can't elect a skinny guy with a funny name, Barack Obama. You can't tackle our biggest challenges. Everybody said, no, you can't. And in 2008, you showed them, yes, we can. So, in 2 weeks, you've got the chance to say once again, yes, we can. Now, look, let's be honest. This is a difficult election. This is hard. And it's hard because we've been through an incredibly difficult time as a nation. We've gone through a tougher time than any time in the lifetimes of most of you. Think about it. For most of the last decade, middle-class families saw their costs rise from everything from health care to college tuition, while their incomes fell. Between 2001 and 2009, the incomes of middle-class families fell by an average of 5%. Job growth was the sluggish it had been, most sluggish it had been since World War II. A lot of jobs moved overseas, especially here in Ohio. There were too many parents who couldn't afford to send their kids to college. Too many people who couldn't afford to see a doctor when they got sick. Americans working 2 jobs and 3 jobs just to make ends meet. And then all these problems were compounded with the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. And I think sometimes we forget how scary it was, the magnitude of this crisis. We lost 4 million jobs in the 6 months before I was sworn in. 750,000 the month I was sworn in, 600,000 the month after that, 600,000 more the month after that. We lost 8 million jobs during the course of this recession. A once-in-a-generation challenge. And when I was sworn in, it was my profound hope, and I know it was the hope of many of you, not just Democrats, but Republicans. It was the hope of so many people that it would cause both parties to put politics aside for a moment for the sake of the country.
Thank you.
The notion was that we could move beyond the division and the bickering and the game plan that had dominated Washington for so long. Because although so many of us are proud to be Democrats, we are prouder to be Americans. We are prouder to be Americans. But the Republican leaders in Washington made a different decision. They made a tactical decision. Their basic theory was that we had gone into such a deep hole. The economy was so badly damaged. They knew it was going to take time for us to repair the economy. They knew it was going to take longer than anybody would like. And they knew the people would be frustrated, and they'd be angry. And some of the enthusiasm that we had seen in the 2008 election would start to dissipate as people looked at their friends losing jobs and their small businesses having to close their doors. And they figured if they just sat on the sidelines long enough, and if they opposed everything that we did, if they said no even to policies that traditionally they have supported, then they figured that they could ride people's anger and frustration all the way to success in the next election. That was their working theory. In other words, they were basically counting on you forgetting who caused the mess in the first place.
Right.